All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start with our new live session. And in this live session, we'll be going to start. We are starting with the GA4. Okay, so again, one thing that you will notice in this GA is that things have smooth out a bit. Okay, so our trajectory of hard to easy, it's going to, it's moving to towards easiness. Okay, so this GA is pretty easy for you uh, as compared to the previous GAs. Okay, so this will be much more lighter on you with that respect. Okay, by the way, our is my voice is it low or is it perfectly fine?
It is good.
All right, let's go ahead. And now, so we'll be starting with this first question. And here we are going to know how to extract how to extract a table from HTML, okay, using Google Sheets. So this functionality is available in Google Sheets. If you try to use this function in Excel, you won't be able to. Okay, it will give you a name error and will just end the story right there. Okay, so this functionality is not available in Excel. If I'm not wrong, perhaps you require few plugins and some more things to actually make Excel capable of doing this stuff. But at the moment, if you have a normal vanilla, let's say vanilla Microsoft Excel, you won't be able to access this. Okay, so this is only available exclusively towards Microsoft, towards Google Sheets. Okay, so uh, okay, so what are we going to do is, obviously I won't be showing you guys how to extract data from this ODI bats chats uh, web page, but what I will be showing you is this. Okay, so this is my anime list and this is the top ranking of the top animes. So if you're wondering what are animes, so these are just Japanese animations, uh, and believe me, they are pretty good. So uh, so being an anime fan, I will be taking this example. Okay, so over here we have, just like in IMDb website, we are able to see that we have multiple animes listed in a table right here. Okay, so let's see if we can access the dataset, this entire table, in our Google page or not, in our Google sheet or not. Okay, let's check this. And I'll be honest, I haven't tried it yet to actually access this particular table. Let's try it ourselves. Okay, so I'll be trying it, but with you guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and write the import HTML function. So HTML function, and as soon as you open this bracket, you will be able to see that we require four parameters. So one parameter is URL, which is query, index, and local. So uh, obviously URL. Okay, can we get that? Okay, so you are talking in the chat. Okay, so okay, so the first parameter is URL. So it's pretty understood what they require. Simply copy it from right here, copy it, paste, and we're good to go. Okay, next it's asking what is the query parameter. Okay, so what does query mean? Okay, so let's check. Okay, okay, so the query parameter is basically we have to enter table here. Okay, so it's either a list or a table. Okay, so let's say if you have a list present in your web page, then it will give you a list. You can use this list parameter, else you can use the table parameter. Okay, so obviously because we have a table, let's use the table parameter. Okay, and in the index one, it's pretty understood what we require. It's asking us that do we, which which number of table we want, because a particular page can have multiple tables, right? And because this is the only table on this page, so I'll be entering the index parameter as 0. Okay, let's hope it works. Fingers crossed. Okay, so it's asking us to allow access. All right, all right, my friends. So this has successfully extracted the data set, the entire data from that web page. Okay, so these are the top 50 animes, and you can see that we are able to access this. Okay, and also we got first the headers as well. That's pretty good because over here we have these headers. That's why we got these headers. Okay, so any questions regarding this? Any questions?
So automatically finds the table.
Yeah, it automatically finds the table. Also, let's say if I had another table on this web page, then I will have to manipulate the index parameter. So then let's say I want the second table, then I have to use one in the query parameter. Okay, so this should be fun. It works like Python indexing, right? Any other
Okay,
question?
so it is like a table, but not like the first table. We just start from the first thing, huh? What is it?
Can you please repeat?
So what did you say? Like zero means this
Zero
zero.
basically means that
Oh,
it will access the first table on the web page, nothing
okay,
much.
okay, okay.
Yeah, so it will access the first table on the web page. Zero means that. Okay, okay. And if you will use one, it will access the second table. So it's like Python indexing. So in Python, in a list we have, let's say we have 10 elements, then obviously the index of the first element won't be one, it would be zero. Okay, so Python uses zero indexing. That's the exact same thing this function is going to use. All right. So any more questions, or should we move ahead? This was one of the most easy questions uh, of this GA, and I guess we have to find we have to do some aggregate operations on that, and that can be easily done in Excel, right? Okay, so I guess there are no further questions, so we can move ahead. Okay, let's close this as well. Leave cross. Okay, so our next question is scrapping the IMDb web page with JavaScript. So if you guys remember, very first live session I took uh, for TDS, I explained using I explained the use of query selectors in a it was a really great explanation from what I can say. So it was a really good it was a really good explanation of this concept. If you guys want, you can check that as well. But I will be going through that once again. Okay. Yeah, Ritik, you open your mic. Do you have any question?
Nothing that map thing which we did, right? Uh,
Map thing?
we selected something, then we mapped it to.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I, at the end of the live session, I gave you the task to extract the names of all people, all participants in this meeting. So yeah, it was a pretty good live session. If you guys want to watch that, you can just simply go to the YouTube page of TDS and you can watch that. Okay, no worries. So for extracting this IMDb dataset, what we're going to do, obviously, I won't show you how to extract the IMDb dataset, but actually, in that live session, I showed you how to use the IMDb dataset and how you can use query selectors to use that. Yeah, so Ritvik has pasted something. Okay, so if you want to specify in this live session, I won't be showing you how to extract things with IMDb. I will be showing you how to do that using another website. But if you want to see that IMDb extraction, you have to go for the first live session of TDS. Okay. Okay. So again, so this particular question we will be dealing with three case scenarios. Okay. First scenario would be that the JSON data is pretty much available. Okay, so we'll be looking at how you can extract using JSON. Next, we'll be looking if the JSON data is not available to you. Okay, then how you are going to extract. So for that you have two other ways. Okay, so we'll be looking into those two other ways as well. So it's like a three case scenarios we are going to look at. Okay, so let's go back to the IMDb page and I will go to the it was okay, yeah. So this was the page, and let's check. Do we have a JSON object which is being fetched? Let's reload it once. It should be right here. Okay, it's not here. Okay. Mm, it's just giving me that. All right, what we can do is we can go to another website which actually allows using JSON. For that, perhaps we can use another API call. Okay. Mm, all right, I will be using again for this particular case. I'll be using my own website. Okay, because I'm not able to think of any other website which will actually it's populating the data which it's fetching from uh, somewhere. Okay, so this is my web page. If you guys haven't, if you guys know, because I've shown this multiple times during my previous live sessions. Okay, so in this website what I'm doing is that I have all these information. So these are all these informations you can see. So everything is being fetched using JSON. Okay, so I haven't hard coded anything. Okay, so these this particular section of my skills, these programming languages and blah 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 blah, everything is being fetched using JSON. I haven't hard coded anything. I haven't written this Python right over here. Okay, so everything has been fetched using a JSON object, and then it's being populated right over here. Okay, and that's true for each and every page on this website. So let's say if I go to the Learn tab, you can see that all these are being fetched using JSON. Okay, these haven't been hard coded anyway. Okay, same with this one, my projects, and same not same with, actually I didn't have any need to hard code this one. Okay, so what I will be doing is I will be fetching this my projects. Okay, so this is actually executing a JSON object. You can perhaps go to my website and you can go to inspect, and uh, if you want to see where are those JSON objects being fetched from, you can go to this networks tab right here. Okay, I have to reload it once. Okay, so this is the JSON object. So to be able to see the exact JSON object which is being fetched, you have to. So by default, it will be all will be selected over here. Okay, so it's all selected right over here. But when you have to specifically search for JSON objects, you have to click over here, fetch slash XHR, and then you will be able to see that these are the JSON. So you will be able to find the JSON object right over here. Okay, so if I click over here, you can see that the entire data is right here. Okay, so it's being fetched from here, and what I can do is, you guys are giving thumbs up. Is there something uh, going on?
No, sir.
Okay, please take up.
Actually, I was just. It was because of that I was getting understood by your explanation. That's why I gave.
Okay, okay, so this is the JSON object, and so what I did was I just simply double clicked over here, and it just opened this JSON object. Okay, so what I can do is I can copy this URL from here, and let me open my VS Code. It's here, and let's create a new folder. Info. Okay, let's name it v4.py by nb. All right. Okay, let's get a new one. All right, so our Python notebook is ready. So how I can fetch this API from my uh, Python notebook? That's pretty simple. Import the so we have few steps to follow. Import the uh, requests library. Okay, run it. It's executed, and now what you can do is simply requests.get, and inside this request.get you simply have to paste this URL, run it, and it will give you this response. So this is the response object. So how you can extract the JSON object from this? Simply use this method. Okay, so this is the particular syntax that you have to use to extract a JSON object from your file. Okay, run this, and you can see that the entire JSON object is in front of you. Okay, so uh, this can be done, and okay, all right. So this is how you can actually extract JSON objects from an API endpoint. Okay, using Python notebooks. Otherwise, this could have been simply done using uh, Thunder client as well. So what is Thunder client? It actually sends requests. It actually sends these API requests on your behalf to the uh, endpoint. Okay, so you don't have to write this entire, you don't have to create this notebook and write this code. It will do this for you. Okay, so you can simply click on new request, and so this is actually an extension. So you have to install Thunder client from here. Thunder client. So you have to install this extension from VS Code. Okay, and then you will be able to use this. Okay, so simply paste this URL which I just copied, and then send, and you can see this entire JSON object is in front of me. Okay, so any questions regarding this particular section? This was actually case one, where you have JSON object, you can access it from anywhere, so you don't need any authentication key or anything. Any questions? Anyone? Any questions? All right, that's pretty good. Okay, so let's go ahead. Then let's go towards the second case study. Okay, so in the second case, it's going to be it will be a really great example for you guys, and let me tell you that these types of examples may or may not be there in your ROE. So ROE, which is claimed to be one of the most difficult exams to pass in this entire degree program. So in that, it this particular thing can be there or cannot be there. Okay, so uh, so let's see what is this thing. Okay, so Jivraj, can you give me that URL once, that IPL one?
Uh, the one that is for JS, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait a second, I have closed it. I will have to re-find it.
No worries. Okay, so Javraj has shared this link with us. You guys can open this up from this from a chat box, and you can open this web page. Okay, so the thing with this web page is, okay, accept cookies, and over here we have kind of a similar thing. So we have a table and we have to extract this data. Okay, so you can do this using import HTML function, which we just talked about, but that's not the agenda for this particular case. Okay, what we have to do is you have to extract it using the JSON object. Okay, so you have to extract it without using that Excel, and you have to kind of fetch off that JSON object. Okay, so can anyone guide me how you can actually achieve that? Just open your mic and start guiding me, guys.
So Shreyansh, maybe it is fetching through some API calls. You can check in the network tab.
uh, yeah, it may be it's fetching from that API call, but each I'm asking the students over here to guide me. Anyone, just open your mic and guide me how you can actually get that JSON object. I just showed you on my website how you can do that. Or perhaps I will randomly start calling names.
Sir, can we just copy the link and send request to the Thunder client?
Let's do that. I will just copy it. That's a really good uh, way. Let's check if this works or not. I will send it, and okay, we have got this, you know, HTML file. We don't have this JSON object. So how can you fetch this now? Anyone else? Or uh, what's your name? Okay, Arnav. Arnav. Any other way which you can think of?
Yes, sir.
Any other way? What do you guys think? Or should I? Let's talk with Sakshi now. Sakshi, right? Sakshi, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Can you please guide me? How can I, fetch this particular JSON object from this web page?
Sir, actually, I've joined late. That's why I didn't get what you done before. That's why I couldn't
It's
do
just
it
a
right
simple
now.
exercise where we are actually trying to extract the JSON object, and using the networks tab. That's just a hint. And can you guide me in that? Okay, let me open this inspect menu. So the first step is in opening up the inspect menu. Now where do I have to go? Can anyone tell me
Sir,
where do
in
I?
network tab?
Exactly. Let's go in the networks tab. Okay, so
Yes.
when you go to the networks tab, you might see this, that perform a request or hit a control R to load this. So why is this happening? You just have to reload this once, and then it will just work perfectly fine. Okay, so we have done this, right? And okay, so I can see that the fetch slash xrx xhr, so this is the tab where we actually extract the JSON object from. So if you are going to see any API or JSON objects which are being fetched on this web page, so it would be present right over here. Okay, but are you guys able to see anything over here? Anyone?
Mm, no, like
You're not able to see, right? Let's check in the doc once. Okay, so in the doc we have this 2023, right? Let's open this once and check it. Okay, so I will open it right over here. Okay, so we have this particular page. Okay, so this is another HTML page, and actually this is the exact same thing which we got in our when we ran this URL and
mm,
sent the request. So this is the exact same thing which we got, but there is no JSON object, right? You guys are not able to see the JSON object.
but why did they do it like this?
Exactly. So
Mm,
some developers are weird. Perhaps they decided to do something else rather than using a JSON object. And when I will tell you what's the answer for this, you guys will actually realize that it's actually a bad practice, kind of, to do this. Okay. So people who are trying to, access data from a website, they won't be able to. So this is a bad practice, according to me. but
Maybe they do not want people scraping the data from
but
their
but
website.
actually we are able to scrape. So when we will
Uh,
actually look at the solution, you will realize that okay, so it can be done, but it's you're
uh,
twisting your arm to hold your left ear, kind of. Okay, so all right, so I will give you guys the answer. So there are two ways to extract this. Okay, can anyone tell me how can I extract this without using this JSON object and without that import HTML? This would be the first way. Are you guys able to see something right away? Can we do something with the front end? This is another hint for you. Can we do something with the front end? So, what is the front end? So, this is the front end. Okay, this is nothing but the front end. So, can we do something with this front end? Anyone?
we can select the values.
That's one way we can select this entire page and paste in Excel, and MS Excel is pretty good at doing these kinds of things, but usually this is not the best case scenario, and it will actually
It's a
increase your
it's a
work.
table, right? So
Yeah,
all these values, they are TR tags,
exactly.
right? We can select those tags and then TD ke tag ke andar there are the values which we want, right?
Absolutely.
So we can kind of loop through all of them and then store them.
Exactly. So what Ritvik is saying. So you guys might be wondering that why am I asking you guys each and everything? Why I'm not just giving you the answer right away? So this is how you actually debug something, not debug. So this is how you actually try to solve something. This is how you actually try to push yourself towards the answer, towards the solution of a problem. Okay, so that's why I'm involving you guys in this discussion. That's really important. Okay, just a second. I need to attach my charger. All right, so we are good to go. Okay, so Ritvik, you told me that you can actually extract this data using the TR tags, right? But so what do you mean by the TR tag? So do we have to copy each and every value and paste in our
No,
Excel
no,
file,
no,
or is
no.
it, yeah,
You can do that just the console mein which you were doing.
exactly, we can do that.
Mm.
And uh, because no one of you suggested that, I assume that it's a kind of black, it's a kind of dark area for you guys. You guys are not aware about that query selector, man. So we will, so I will just go through that once again. Okay, so when you have problems such as this, when you are, so whenever you are asked to access, you are asked to go to a website and take out, extract other data. So your first step towards extracting it should be go to the networks tab. Go to the networks tab, click over this fetch XR tab, and then check, do we have a JSON object? Do we have something related to that? Let's check the doc ones. Do we have something? If you get it, that's pretty good. That's great. You can just simply use that. Otherwise, in this, for example, in this case, we don't have that. Okay, so in that case, you're going to use the query selectors. Okay, so what are these query selectors? Let's get into it. Okay, so uh, okay, so what does a query selector mean? Query selectors basically, it acts like a way you can select a particular element from this HTML content. Okay, and then and do something with it. Okay, so what am I saying? By the way, you can extract this table in Excel very easily. Absolutely, we can do that. So this can be easily done using import HTML function. But what we are going to show you, so but that's actually not the agenda for this particular exercise. So you can simply do this using import HTML, but what we are trying to teach you over here is that how you can do this using query selectors and one more method which we're going to talk about. So that's the surprise method that we have in store for you guys. Okay, so let's get into it and let's see how you can extract it. Okay, so this is so along with this elements tab, we have this console tab as well, right? We have this console tab, and what it does is it's actually useful. It's actually used to clear this out once. It's clear. Yeah. So what it does is it's capable of running JS code for you. Okay. So it will be running JS code on this particular web page, and then you can use JS code for accessing elements and do something or whatnot. Okay. So uh, let's look at what our query selectors means. Okay. Let's say I want to fetch out the names of all these 20 players. Okay, so I want to fetch out the names of all these 20 players. Let's see how I can do that. Okay, so I want you guys to pay utmost attention to this, and let's see how you can actually achieve this particular thing. Okay, so for that, because I have to extract the names of these players, go to you have firstly you have to check that where these names are being stored. Okay, so these names are being stored somewhere in this particular tag. Okay, so can you see this? I guess I should zoom in a bit, right? So too much, yeah. So the name Shubman Gill is being stored in this particular HTML tag. So it's a div tag, but let's not call it that way. So okay, so this is a div. So this is an HTML tag, and it's storing the name of that player, right? And what you will find is, so if you want to, if I want to select something on this page, I just have to simply click on this arrow button, click over here, and then you will be able to see. Then you will be, it will just directly take you to that particular web, to that particular element, right? So what you will notice is that this particular thing, this particular syntax is common for each and every name on this web page. Okay, so if I go back to Shuman Gill once, you can see that this thing, these classes and this kind of syntax is common for each and every name on this web page, right? If I go to Fav2, yeah, Duplessis, you can see that this is common. This was the same thing which was present for Shuman Gill. If I go to Conway, you can see that this is exactly the same thing, right? So what we can do right now is that, so I will just show you how you can access it, and then I'll be explaining you how it actually works, right? So for this, you have to find a common thing you have to find a common thing which is present in each and every element which contains these names, right? So I will copy this common thing. So this is a common thing for me, which is actually present in each and every name, right? Remember this part. Okay, I will just copy this and I will go to the console tab. So I will be writing a few lines of code, not a few lines, just a line of code, and then I will be explaining you how it works, right? So I will quickly write that line of code once, and then we'll see. Okay, so this was the line of code, and I'm going to perform a bit more. Okay, and we will be extracting the text. All right, so this one line of code actually gave me this entire, this it gave me the names of all these 20 players who are present in this table, right? By the way, Ritik, your mic is open. Are you trying to say something? Okay, so
I
it
was
was
following along.
yeah, not a problem. Okay, so are you guys able to see that we actually extracted the names of all these players somehow? Okay, now let's just understand how this particular line of code works. Okay, so I will be dissecting this line one by one. Okay, so let's look at this particular section of this code. Okay, so when I execute this, so as you might remember, so this is the common thing which we had in each and every name on this page, right? So what I did was I placed a dot in front of it, and there is a dollar dollar. There is something dollar dollar. Okay, you may not know what is this dollar dollar. Okay, so there is something dollar dollar, and then we are opening a kind of function thing, and then we are pasting, then we are using a string, we are pasting this kind of text in it. Okay, so this is the common thing, and we have a dot in front of it, and it's present in this dollar dollar function. Okay, and it's somehow it's fetching each and everything, right? Now what it actually does, let's understand that. Okay, so this dollar dollar is actually the, it actually establishes a connection from your console tab. So this is a console tab, right? From your console tab to your elements tab. Okay, so this dollar dollar is kind of establishing this connection between your console tab and your elements tab, right? Okay, and then what we are doing is that we are pasting this common thing inside this dollar dollar, okay, with a prefix dot. Okay, so what does this dot mean? If you guys know HTML, so that would, so you might know what this dot means. So this dot is basically used to represent classes, right? So if you have a class, if you, let's say, if you're going to access a class, so you have to prefix it with a dot. Okay, otherwise if you have an id, you have to prefix it with a hash. Okay, so this is how actually css works. And so dot is for class. You guys, I recommend you guys to actually note this down, because why not? Okay, and dot is for classes, hash is for id. Okay, so what does this id mean? Id is a unique thing, for it's a unique kind of it's a unique uh, name given to a particular element. For instance, let's say my name is Saran Saini, right? I'm a TA in TDS. Okay, so if I am going to consider that, let's if I'm if like let's say if I'm going to consider in this particular scenario all the TAs in TDS, right? So all the TAs in TDS, who are those? Jivraj and Saranj, right? So Jivraj and Saranj, what do we both have in common? So we are TDS TAs. Okay, so TDS TA is a thing, is a commonality between us, right? So when we are considering something which is common among multiple things, we're going to use classes. Okay, so this is how it works. So classes are something like that. So uh, we both, so Jivraj and me, we both lie in this class of TDST. Okay, but when we are going to consider, so if we are going to uh, when we are talking about IDs, let's say, so IDs can be understood using my name is Saransh, right? And his name is Jivraj. So that's an ID for us. Okay. In this TDS TA scenario, right? So TDS TA, okay, so TDS TA is a class for us, right? And our names is our ID. Okay. Our name are our ID. So IDs are something which are used to uniquely identify something, right? So I guess that's pretty much understood. Any doubts regarding this class and ID and this particular section of code? Any doubts? Then I'll be proceeding with the next section of this code. Guys, any doubts? All right. So I guess you guys have no doubts. Okay. Okay. So you guys must be wondering that what is this, right? So what is this? So can anyone just tell me what is this? Anand Murthy, can you please tell me what is this? What is this particular line of code has got us?
just instances of all these specific values, right? Wherever st dot wherever the class is there.
Exactly.
Like,
So can anyone other than Ritvik tell me what is this?
It will told us that from element what will be the this class name, the list all of the list of all members which contains this class name.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right, Sakshi. And you're right, Ritvik as well. So this line of code will actually extract all the elements in from our HTML code, which have this class stply name. Okay, so this is actually a class, right? So it will extract all the names, all the elements which contain this class. Okay, so can you see that this is actually an element. This is actually a piece of code which has its own properties. For example, it has if I open this, uh, it has multiple things inside it. So can you see this? That it has something like inner text, and inside this inner text, you are able to see Shubman Gill, right? So this element actually is an entire instance of that particular piece of code. So if you are wondering, so what kind of gibberish Saransh is saying, so you can understand it this way. So this particular element is present over right here. Okay, so it's present right here, and it contains the text inside it. So it contains this Conway, this Devon Conway inside, right? Now, now, how can I extract? So obviously, I don't need this entire piece of code, right? But I want the names of these players who are inside, right? So how can I extract it? So for that, I'm using this map function. So what does this map function do? So this map is something like it's running a for loop on each and every element of this array, right? So it's running a for loop on each and every element of this array, and then it's executing something on each and every element, right? So this item is it's nothing but a kind of variable, and it's executing something on this uh, on each and every element. Okay, so for instance, I can just change this I for I can just change this item to I as well. Okay, so it's like in Python we have for loops, and in for loops we usually do it for I in range, right? Or for I in a particular list, right? This is a common uh, functional. So this is a common syntax which most people use, and it's something which has been taught from one teacher to another student. So it's like it has become a convention now to use for I in range, and so I has become that kind of variable which is used by each and every person, right? So you can use this. Otherwise, I can just simply use something else as well. I can use this as well. So it's working. I can use my own name as well, because why not, right? It will work now as well. Okay, so this is like a variable on each and every element. So it's like it representing each and every element, and it's executing something on each and every element. So what it's executing, it's actually taking out the inner text from each and every element. Okay, so what does this inner text mean? If you just go over here and you scroll down, so this is one instance, so this is the first instance in this array. If you just open this and you scroll down, you will reach you should reach right over here. So you will find this inner HTML and inner text. Okay, so in this inner text and inner HTML, you are able to see that, okay, so we have Shuman Gill in inner text. Okay, so you have to use this inner text attribute,
Bro,
and then it
Mike.
will fetch each
Sir,
and every.
if we
Yeah,
sorry, sir, if we put inner HTML, that is also containing Shubham Gill. So what will it do?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And let's see what we will do. By the way, Harsha, were you also trying to say something?
Yeah, actually, I just joined in. What are we discussing here? Is it GA4 or
Yeah, GA4.
G3?
We're discussing
Okay.
GA4, and
I
currently we
have
are
some
on the.
doubts regarding that project. Actually, like when can we discuss? Like,
For projects, perhaps we'll be having more sessions in the next week or on
no,
7th,
I
perhaps
have
on.
doubt regarding the scope itself. Is it okay if you can clear it off within like 5 minutes and all?
Harsha, maybe at the end we can take doubts related to project one.
Yeah. When is it actually? Like, what time I can rejoin back? Like, it's 9 now, so maybe at 9:45. Is that end? Actually, like, when is the end? Actually, like
It's at 10 p.m.
10 p.m. Okay, I'll join back at 10. Okay, please.
Yep.
I need some doubts actually. Like, yeah. Thank you so much.
All right. So, okay. So let's answer Sakshi's question now. Okay. So you guys can see that it's a really great question that why aren't we using inner HTML as well, right? So over here you can see that Shubman Gill is present in both inner HTML and inner text. Okay. But why are we using inner text instead of inner HTML? So if you go by the name inner HTML, so inner HTML, yeah, it's absolutely, it's fetching the names of our players as well. But can anyone guess the difference between them, between these functions? Anyone? Just guess the difference. Sakshi, do you have any guesses? Any guesses?
No, sir, I can't see any difference on the console.
Are you able to, by the reading these names, inner text and inner HTML, does this give any clue to you?
Maybe using inner text, it is giving us text, and for inner HTML, maybe it is giving HTML code kind of thing.
Absolutely. That's actually correct. So the thing is that inside this element, so actually, so inside this element, the only thing, you know, the only HTML which is present is the name of the player. Okay, so that's why it's working. But if I do something like this, just don't ask me what I'm doing. Just follow along. Okay, so I have done something like this. Okay, all right. So now we have something in this element, right? Now if I run inner text, that's same. Okay, so that's pretty same. So that's exactly the same thing which we got using without changing anything, right? But if we execute inner HTML, are you able to see some difference in Devon Conway's name?
Yes, sir.
Sakshi?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is giving code, the whole code line which is
Exactly.
inside that.
Exactly. So inner HTML will give you the entire code which is present in that element. Okay, which is like a direct child of that element. Okay. Inner HTML, what it will give you, it will actually give you the entire text, which is only the text which is present in that element. Okay, so this is the difference between inner text and inner HTML. Okay, and thank you, Sakshi, for bringing up that question, and that's going to help you guys as well. Okay, so that was the difference between inner text and inner HTML, right? And what does this actually? This is a bold tag. So if you are able to see, then it actually emboldened the name of Devon Conway, right? So it's actually returning the bold tags as well. Okay, so this is how you can actually fetch this. And let's say, by the way, any questions regarding this particular line of code, any questions? And guys, let me tell you, if you have any questions and if you think that it's silly, go ahead with this. Simply ask. We TAs
Sir,
are for you,
sir, one
right?
more thing. In
Yeah.
class name, we have ST ply name.
Mhm.
Also, we have NG and binding also. So why
Yeah.
don't we? Why did we not include that in the class name also?
That's a really great question, Sakshi. That's another really good question. Okay, so let's try using this class as well. Okay, so if I go back to this particular line of code, we can see that we have another class present, which is ng binding, right? Let's replace this class with ng binding. Okay, I have to bring up this, and I will let me clear this. Okay, I will just run it once. Uh, okay, so what we will do is I will replace this stply with this one. Okay, so the thing is this ng building is actually a class which is present in these runs, mat, innings, no, average, and all these kind of stats as well. This is something which is present in each and every stat. So if I go right here, you can see this ng biting class, right? So that's why it makes it, it makes it ineligible for extracting this data, because it will give you and it will just give you uh, each and every, it will just give you each and all these values as well along with the name. So that's not much useful. So that's another thing which you have to keep in mind, that whenever you are going to extract a person, let's say if I want to extract the name of this player, what I have to do is I have to find a specific class which is common in all names, but it's not present in any other kind of no, it's not present in any other uh, element, right? So for us, stply name was that class, right? So Sakshi, does that answer the question?
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so let's move ahead. And okay, so this was everything about this console one. And also one more thing, let's say if you want to copy this name, you want to copy this, I will just copy this once, copy it and I'll put it here. Okay, so let's say I want to copy this entire list somehow and paste it in my, some txt file or json file, let's say. So how can I do this? Simply enclose this entire code. Okay, so enclose this entire code in a copy function. Okay, then you will be simply able to do this. Okay, now if I go and create a text file, let's say players.txt, simple. Okay, so this is how you can copy this entire list and paste it somewhere else. Okay, so this was it about using the console menu and using the query selections, the css selectors to extract the data. All right, so now let's look at that third case scenario, that third way we are going to extract our data. Okay, so, as you guys remember that in the networks tab, we don't have the JSON object anywhere, right? We don't have any JSON object, and we are not able to find it in any of these tabs, right? So we aren't able to find in any of these tabs. But let's go back to this docs tab. Okay, so what does this doc mean? So if I just open it, okay, I have to close it. Okay, so if I just open this doc once, and over here we are able to find that we have something called 2023, right? Now if you scroll down a bit, so this is the the surprise way you can actually find the data, right? So let's say you aren't able to find any json objects, okay, and you're exhausted, you are not able to find, and you have to you have this kind of kink that you have to go ahead with the JSON object only, and you have to find the JSON object somehow. Okay, so how you can do this? Sometimes the JSON object it's present in the JavaScript of the code as well. Okay, so sometimes JavaScript is used to populate the pages. Okay, and then for instance in Jinja, so Jinja uh, is a tool which can be used to uh, populate HTML with data using Python. So uh, you need not be going into much depth of Jinja, but Jinja is a tool which actually allows you to do this, which actually allows you to populate pages using Python. So in this web page, they are using some a kind of similar approach. Okay, so what they are doing is, if you just scroll down on this 2023 document once, you will find the script. Okay, you'll find the script, and just a second, it was somewhere here, if I'm not wrong. Okay. Just a second, just a sec. Eh, okay, it's where it is. So it's actually running a script which is populating the entire web page, right? So I'm not able to find that particular script, but okay, I guess this is the one, kind of. Okay, so if you are able to see that we have something like this, we have something like this. So it's running a function, it's calling few things, and then it's creating an element, right? So it's creating new elements using inline JavaScript. So this is JavaScript, and it's creating new elements for us. So this is actually a really poor way, I would, from my point of view. So it's a really poor way to populate data in your data set. And something big as IPL, it's doing this, so that's pretty weird. And if you're building websites, so this is not recommended. This is absolutely not recommended to do. So what they're doing is they are creating new elements with JavaScript, and then populating those elements with uh, the data. Okay, so for that we actually have to go to the JSON tab. Okay, not JSON, the JavaScript tab. Okay, so this is the JavaScript tab, and over here you will be able to find that we have multiple JavaScripts present over here. Okay, and one of these JavaScripts actually have the data. Okay, if I, let's say, if I just want to open this competitions.json, right? Not JSON, this is JS. Again and again I'm saying JSON. So if I just open this competition.js, so what you can see is that the entire JSON object is present over here. Okay, so this is actually a JSON object which is present in a on completion function. Okay, so that's a pretty weird way to do things, but they have done this somehow. Okay, so you can see that this is actually, so this entire data is giving you information about the about the matches which have taken place. Okay, so you can see that competition ID, which kind of competition it was. It was a 1 day test, and the time zone and all, and the stats coding and all, each and everything. So you can find all these kinds of data in this one. Okay, but again, we have to find the data about the about our batsman. So let's look for more uh, let's look for more in more JS files. Let's open this one. Okay, so this file, if you just have a look in it, you will be able to find that it's about, I guess it is about, yeah, it's again about the matches. So uh, each and every match is being stored in this date, in this JSON object, and you can see that match summary and all, complete their competition ID, match name. So it was Chennai Super Kings versus Gujarat Titans, right? This was the name of the match. And so you can also see that first batting team name was Gujarat Titans. So Gujarat Titans actually played the first innings. and the second batting team name was this one. So CSK played the second one, and I guess there should also be the winners one. See if there is a winners one. Okay, okay. So you can see that each and every detail about these matches are being stored over here, right? You can see. Okay. So, okay. So, but again, the data we need, the data we are searching for about our players is not present over here, right? So, if I open this next, if I open this next JS object, which is top run scorers. So, top run scorers, and we're looking at the top batsman, right? So, it's ringing some bells. If I just open this one, here you will be able to see the entire data about our top batsman, right? So you can see that Shubman Gill is at the top, and the data which is being populated over here is present right over here. Okay, so if I see that total runs, so this runs tab is being filled with this one, this total runs. Okay, so the entire data is present over here. So this is actually the JSON object, and how you can access this, what I will do is I will simply open it in another tab, and I will just copy this URL once. I will copy this URL. Okay, this entire URL I will copy and then go to Thunder client. Okay, paste, and I will send it, and you can see that we have received this object. Okay, I will copy it. Okay, I've copied this entire thing. Okay, otherwise you can simply copy it from here as well, but I will, you know, discourage you from actually opening this. So I will discourage you from opening JSON, these kinds of objects in your web page, because sometimes it, crashes your Google application as well. So this has happened with me multiple times, so it was quite painful. So avoid this. What you can do is simply, copy the URL once. I guess there should be an option, copy URL. Yeah, copy URL. Go to Thunder client or Postman. So Postman is another way you can use it. Okay, so go to Thunder client, then copy this entire thing. Okay, now I will paste it over here. Okay, and okay, okay, all right. So okay, yeah. Now what I will do is, so I will remove this on top run scorer for kind of function thing, and from the very bottom I will remove this. Okay, remove this. Now simply there should be thing of formatting. It's not working. It's format. Okay, just put it here. Okay, guess it's reading this file or something, but it's not formatting it as, a, as I want. Okay, so actually this is your JSON object, and this is how you can use it. Okay, let me just rename this to JSON once. Then it will work. It's renamed. Okay, now it's working. So you can just click on format document, and guys, we have we have arrived at this. So you can see that this kind of this kind of similar syntax is available to us, and you can use this JSON object to your heart's content, right? So this was the kind of forbidden way or the hidden way which you can extract data, and few websites which kind of have poor developers do this, and sometimes you have to uh, twist your arm to get there, right? So this was it about using this. Any questions regarding this? Any questions?
But this is still a kind of, as you said, arm twisting way of kind of, because you have to go through all the JS files to find this. Is there some way we can
Uh,
just search it directly?
Can you please repeat?
Maybe we have to open all these JS files and then figure out
Yeah.
what data is.
What was the question? Can you please repeat?
Can it be done in some easier way? Like,
Can it be done in some easy way?
finding this specific JSON.
This one, actually, this is not a JSON. This is a JS file, right? So uh, I won't say that there is a simple way to do this, because sometimes in this case we have a pretty low number of JS files, but sometimes we have a lot more number of a pretty large number of JS files. But the only way which I can think of is going to eat like kind of each and every file, each and every JS file. Or you can search, you can read the name of the JSON file and then try to relate it with the use case you are using. So top run scholars, it's actually ringing some bells. So perhaps you're talking about the top batsman, right? So uh, you have to manually check it in most cases. Perhaps this is the only way we can approach this. All right. So if there are not no further questions, then I would like Jivraj to take over with the next question.
Hmm. Should I share this one? Okay, I won't exactly do this question, but Sharanj,
Yeah.
okay, have we uh, introduced Beautiful Soup?
Not yet.
Okay, then that's what I will do now. Hmm, which web page should we use? Okay, maybe. Okay, does anyone have any idea which web page we can use? We just want some data, and I don't want to use Wikipedia, and I want to send a request to it.
What kind of request do you want to make?
So yeah, Jivraj, you can actually use my website for explaining beautiful soup.
Yeah, I will be using that. But I think your website. Wait a second. So actually, on the Sharan's website, it gets populated using API calls. But what I want to use a static website. So which was
Okay, let me see
It,
if.
it was, yeah, my. Uh, you should run. I will just give you the link once. Okay. So we will be using that my anime list one again, once again. Okay. By the way, if you guys have any other suggestion, you can propose to us. Yes, so I've sent that.
okay. This seems to be a static website. So let's go ahead and use request module to actually get this. Okay, before we do that, we can actually verify if it is a static website by just hitting this URL. So it should have this um, this one. So let's check that. Okay, yeah, it does have this one. Okay, so now we can actually get this uh, HTML page by just requesting this particular web page, and then we'll use Beautiful Soup to parse. So similar, same what Sharans have done in console tab. We'll do it using Beautiful Soup to use CSS selector to get the data. So let me create one file.
By the
Yeah,
way,
sure.
let's explain them what is beautiful soup once.
Okay. So uh, using console tab, we can actually pass this DOM structure, and then we can apply some filters based on some attributes or some classes or IDs. So same thing we can do that in using Beautiful Soup. So right now what we have sent a request to this URL, and then this is what we have got in response. The response we have got is just a plain HTML, and this is same HTML that is there in for populating this website. So we can interact with this HTML using Beautiful Soup, same way we did it using our document.query selector, which selects something based on the CSS selectors.
So actually, whatever I just showed you using the console tab, using that dollar and that function thing. So that was actually that was actually using JavaScript to execute those functionalities. But that same thing can be done using Python as well, using Beautiful Soup. So that's what we are trying to achieve over here.
Okay, so I will use this piece of code, and let's go to web page, Beautiful Soup documentation, and this is how we install Beautiful Soup. This is Copilot response, so I will just go to their documentation to verify if this is correct. I think what is the way to install? Installing Beautiful Soup, and this is the way we can use using web. Okay, so now before going to Beautiful Soup, we will actually have to use request module to request that particular HTML page. So I will import request first, and then we will store the response that we got from by requesting the URL that we copied. And now we have got the response. Now what I will do, I will use beautiful soup to parse this HTML so that
Yeah,
we
how do
can
you navigate between your clipboard?
okay, if I just press window and then V, then I can access my uh,
Okay, okay.
clipboard. Okay, so this is how we can import from BS4. We can import beautiful soup, and then so in the response, what we have got is an HTML document, right? Cause over here at the very first line of code, it's written over here. Document type is HTML. And now, since it's a HTML document, we can use Beautiful Soup to parse, and in the parser, we will tell HTML parser. So generally, there are two different kind of parsers. One is XML, and this is HTML. So XML files are also used to store uh, information in the same way, but that we will do in some other session. So right now, I will use this HTML parser to parse this. Uh, Whatever we got in the response. Um, I'm getting confused between these things. Okay, so soup is equal to, before that I will have to import beautiful soup. So I will just copy these two lines of code from beautiful soup documentation. And over here in HTML doc, we will have to use request, or not request, response dot text, and let's call it HTML underscore doc. So this contains the same HTML code that we got by requesting through Thunder client. And now let's just print it. Actually, we can prettify it. So if I just print it now, if I go back and let's use uv run beautify.py, and okay, now we have got this same HTML. Just to verify, I will just save it in some file and then we can check one.html. Oh, I was going to. This is what we have, and it is same HTML code that we got by requesting from Thunder client. Now on this soup object, what I will do, I will try to so this is soup object that we have. So it have same structure HTML, and then within it have head and then body, which actually have some information. Now we will be using this find method. So this find method is similar to query selector in JavaScript. So over here we will tell uh, which all um, which all tags or some classes or whatever it needs to select. So I will use start find, and now what we want to select, okay, where is the, this is the one. Now let's go to inspect tab, and by clicking over here, I think I can actually get this copy element, and let me print it somewhere. Okay, this have got the actual element. Instead of that, what so I can actually so in this DOM structure I can get its query selector by clicking on copy and then copy selector. This would use some, if there are multiple so here we have, in this table we have multiple elements, right? If there are multiple elements, then I think it would use n. Oh, okay, let's use this as the query selector. So id must be, no, Just give me 1 minute. Okay. So we'll use this particular ID to the um, get this element. So let's use this, and let me call it element. And now let's just print the element. And this prettify, what it would do if its structure is not same as HTML, then it would just prettify it. So it will be the same text, but it will look much nicer. So now let's execute this command. Oh, I should not write it out to file. Let's just use this. Okay, over here we have got this thing. Okay. Mm, what was the JS path maybe? Okay, let me check what does this give. Oh, hashtag AREA. Okay, let's use this. None type object have no attribute prettify. That is because so this element is uh, we could not find anything with this particular ID. And if I just use this, maybe it would work. That is because over in the on the web page we have hashtag in front of it. Okay, let's use this. Okay, now we have got we have selected this particular element. Let's have a look at it. So we have anchor tag, which is linked to I think this is same anchor tag, and then within this it is the image one. So I think there might be some image. Okay, that is correct. So the same way we can request and we can parse it in beautiful soup. So similar to this in find actually we have to provide ID, and then we can even provide class by uh, using this particular way. So for example, I can get this class, and let's remove this ID. Is it class or class underscore? I'm not sure. Okay, that was class underscore. So even if we specify that class, it gets the same element. That means in this particular uh, page, there is only one instance of this class. No, there are multiple. Oh, that is why, because I'm using find. If we instead of so similar to query selector, we use query selector and query selector all. Now, if I use find all, then this would get all those elements. Let's do it again. Okay. Did you mean to call find element dot prettify? Instead of prettifying, let's use element only. That is because this find all, it's a list, so we cannot prettify on list. We can prettify on one single element. So I think let's check what is there I think these are 100 elements. So first one is this one, and then the second one should appear after some comma. So maybe this is the second one, and then the name is, okay, this is the third one. So I think, are there 100 of them? And next 50 if I go here, and then next 50. Okay, there are more than 100, but over here this matches with 100 times. So this class matches 100 times. Okay, and so this is one way we can get the data using Beautiful Soup. We can parse a HTML document. Instead of requesting from a file, we can keep HTML code within a file. Instead of requesting a web page, we can actually have code inside a file, and we can parse that HTML file, and then we can even extract something out of it using same method. Now we also have, similar to this find all, we have to provide this class underscore, and I think maybe attributes we need to provide using attrs keyword, and we have item type as an attribute here, and then this is the value of that item type. So this is how we can create this. But let us say we want to use the same method that we used to do uh, for let me go back here. We used to do when we were using console tab. So if I just go here, and then I think if I copy selector, and now if I paste it here, okay, that is not the correct one. Let's go back and copy JS path, and let me paste it. Yeah, this is the one. So it has selected this particular element. Now, can I just provide this string similar to what we used to provide in query selector? So there is one way, Beautiful Soup select. So within Beautiful Soup, okay, it is not the correct page, but maybe down somewhere we can find those methods. So this opens it, and then it parses. Uh, I think this is the one that we need to use. Okay, this is from which, okay, Python tutorial. Let's go here and dot select, and instead of using dot find, I will use dot select. And now within select, I don't have to put id is equal to. Instead of doing that, I can just provide the actual query selector that we have used. So I will copy this part, and let's paste it here, and let's prettify it. Okay, find, we have used select. Okay, I'm not sure what is that. So let me remove prettify. Okay. Okay, so select gives us response in as a list. So that means it matches with multiple selectors. So it is equivalent of query selector all. let me put a comment here. Select is equivalent of query selector all. And I think there is one more method to select just one element. I think it is select underscore one. And if I use that, now I should be able to even prettify it. Prettify, Prettify. Yes, so I have got the same element. So these are two different ways. One is using find and then the other one is using find all. So in this particular question, oh, not this one. In this particular question, we are required to go to we are required to go to Wikipedia, and then over there we need to go to is one particular country. So I will just type India and then Wikipedia. So this would get us to India's page. Now instead of India, let us say I type USA, so it would get to United States page. So by just changing this last bit, I'm able to get to the particular country's page. So that's what we have to do in this assignment. And once we get to the country's page, then what we have to do, we have to get all these H1 to H6 tags. I think there are 6 H tags, yeah. And then we have to, so for this we have to create then mm, or then we have to create one API. So what we have to do, we can create a fast API server over here, and then on that server we will create this particular endpoint, and that accepts this country as a query parameter, and then it will generate the markdown using these uh, heading tags. And yeah, so instead of doing this assignment directly, maybe over here, should I create okay, first let me ask, so whatever I have explained so far, is it clear? Anyone have any doubt on that? Okay, so now we can use fast API, and let me import fast API.
Running everything through UV, right?
Yeah, I'm running everything through UV, so I don't want to create a virtual environment. I think this is much faster. Is there a way to pass some argument to it? I think no. Okay, let me use. I don't exactly remember syntax of fast API. So fast API documentation. Example. So let's use this. Main.py, this would instead. Okay. Okay, let's use this. Wait a second, I will get back. So, and let's use this piece of code, and I will send a request within this function. And after sending request, we'll keep this over here, and we'll parse this soup object here itself. And okay, now what should we extract? Maybe we can extract all the anchor tags, or maybe we can even ask for which. Yeah, yeah.
Jivraj, we can do one thing. We can create an API which, when supplied with the name of a anime, then it will return the rank of that API of that anime.
uh,
How does that sound?
we provide name of anime.
Yeah, we'll provide the name of the anime, then
Okay,
it should return the rank.
and then it will respond with the rank.
Yeah,
Actually, so based on the name of the anime, I think we won't be able to construct URL because every time it gets
no,
this
I'm not
random
talking
number.
about. No, no, I'm not talking about the URL. Instead, can you please go back to the page?
Yeah.
Yeah. So from here, okay,
Mm-hmm.
we can do one thing. We can search for the particular TR, the particular row which contains this name, and then
Okay.
we can extract the rank element from that. Uh, yeah.
So rank
Is it
is
possible? Right?
okay. Okay, this is the rank, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, okay. Actually, we can match with text content with this particular name, whatever you pass in the query, and
Yeah,
then we can fetch the rank.
yeah, absolutely, that's possible. So
Hmm,
what we are actually planning to do is, can you please go back to the page once?
sure.
So what we are actually planning to do is we can extract the table row where this particular anime name is present, and then we will be using that text content, and then we'll extract the the number from that text content. Okay, so I guess it would be very interesting
It is interesting.
executed. Okay,
That's a bit difficult as well.
yeah, I'm with you. Don't you worry.
Okay. So let me figure out how do we pass query parameters. I think is this the correct way?
Yeah,
Hmm,
we just want a string, right? You can we can just create a new variable. Yeah, a new variable. Let's say anime.
Q
Not
and
here,
then
not here, not
str.
here, not here. It should be present in the
Oh, in the
yeah,
function,
yeah,
right?
the function, right?
Yes, yes. So they should be Q within. Okay, string. Okay, this is correct.
Also, we have to give it. Yeah, yeah. Instead of the q, we can give it an anime parameter.
Maybe name
Yeah, that would work.
or
Uh,
maybe anime name.
that no, that would be a long name for a parameter.
Okay. And maybe what should we call the endpoint?
Let's say anime rank. Yeah, rating. That's good.
Hmm,
And yeah, that should work.
okay. I think this should work.
Also, Jivraj, we also have to give you know placeholder for that uh, particular variable. If you just swap back to that page once, yeah, you can see that this item ID, we are also giving it in the URL as well. That app.get.
Yeah, that is because we are passing it as an within URL, but we are passing this as an URL encoded parameter. So this is not part of URL. I mean, it is part of URL.
Okay.
So this item ID, it goes like this, right? But
Yeah.
this Q would go something like this.
Okay, so that, so if you want to pass parameters, then that's done using this. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Shakshi, do you have any doubt?
Well, actually, I don't have doubt regarding this, but I have previous doubt that whenever I'm using Fast API and this app thing which we have to run on Chrome, the whole question regarding this kind of thing is giving me error, and I don't know why, and I tried everything, but I'm not able to solve it, and I've posted on the discourse every time, but and you provided the solution, still it is not working, and I've said many time in the live session also, but
Is that related
these
to
kind
the
of fast
second?
API thing, I'm not able to do it. That's why in the in question in GA2 versus a question I have not done it. In GA3 last three questions also I'm not able to solve. I've tried everything with that.
What's the problem you're facing? Is that the same thing?
Sir, it's the same thing that methods not allowed. I
Method
used
not allowed.
Postman also to post the request, to send the post request using that URL, but it's not working. It's saying methods not allowed. The post method which I'm using in the question 7 and 8.
Actually, when you have to pass a post method, then you have to mention it inside the methods, uh, you know, parameter as well. So, uh, Givraj, can you uh, go to that? Can you go to that
Uh,
decorator, that app? No,
Sir,
no,
sir,
back to the code
Codes
just
base.
decorator.
one
Codes.
thing.
Yeah, no,
You can
this
continue with
there are
this.
URL has been, the endpoint has been written.
Sir, one more thing. You can continue with this in the in the end of this session. Just give me some time and explain me how to do it. I will share my screen and you can guide me with that, because it was not working and I'm fed up of using that. And this concept will be used in the project also. So if I'm not able to understand it, then I'm not able to do the project as well.
Okay. Uh, have you posted it on discourse?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've created two times the post on this post. Yesterday also and a day before yesterday also.
Okay. Can you please share the link to your discourse post? I will just get into it while
Okay, sir.
Jahraj solves this particular question.
Yes, sir. Just a minute, sir.
All right, Jahraj, we can continue with this.
Oh,
Let me
sure.
discuss.
So now we have requested
Yeah,
this
Harsha, you
particular
have raised
page.
your hand.
Oh,
Yeah, actually, it's 10 o'clock. So,
Okay.
can you have like 5 or 10 minutes discussion on that project requirements
uh,
as well as questions on the
uh,
scope itself?
sorry, Harsha, but I think let's complete this first. Otherwise, it will break the flow.
Yeah, approx. I would say 10 minutes
Okay, 10
more.
minutes I
We'll
can
be
wait.
needing into completing this
Yeah,
particular
10 minutes I can wait.
exercise.
Yeah, 10, 15. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And Sakshi, you have a question? Sakshi, you have raised your hand.
No, sir. It was previously raised. I've
Okay,
asked
okay.
my question.
All right. Please share the link to your discourse post. I will just look into it.
Yeah, yes, sir. I'm just sharing it. Just a
You
minute.
can just you can share it in this chat box. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we have got this soup element. Now actually we need to locate this table within this soup element. Sorry, we have got the same DOM structure. I should not call it a soup element. So what I need to get is this particular table with this class. So let's use that. Um, I will go here and then soup dot select of this table and then the name of the class. And now let me store it in tables, or just call it table. And now let me just make sure that there is only one table. So I will just print length of table. Okay. Oh, okay. That is because I have to run the server. And is it within? Okay.
Yeah, it has to be run using UVCon.
Hmm, 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 hmm. Um,
No,
UVcon.
I will just tell you. I will just tell you the syntax you have to write. Open the yeah. Open the terminal. You won't need this one. You won't need this. You can just comment this out.
Yeah, this should work, na? This
Uh,
should work.
but this should work. But there is a better way to do this.
Okay, okay, okay. Tell me.
Can you just comment this? Yeah. Yeah. Open that terminal once
Terminal. Sure.
and type in UVCon, UV icon,
UVICON. Okay.
space
Is it CON or CORN?
It's UV con, na?
UV. You have written UN. Yeah. UV space the name of the application. Remove this dot py colon app space dash dash reload dash dash not understood.
Okay, I will have to mention UV over there. I think this requires to install globally.
Yeah, I guess you have to install it globally.
Hmm. Okay, maybe I will just go with that if underscore underscore name.
Yeah, sure, for sure. But if you have, if you have a virtual environment and you're not using UV, then you can use that particular line of code to run your fast API application, and you
Yes,
won't
yes.
be required
If
to
you have.
write that if name and all that stuff.
Sir, I shared you the link, the discourse link, and also additionally, I've made some changes in the code yesterday. I will, if there is time in the end of this session, I will share my screen. I will show you some all the things which I've changed in the code.
Actually, we have another contender for sharing the screen. So Harsha is also ready to share the screen. So I am afraid that we will get the time to debug this error in this live session because then it will be just touching it too far. So if we are not able to solve it now, then we can take it tomorrow as well. Jivraj, do
Okay,
we
sir.
have a live session tomorrow?
We can schedule one.
Yeah. So
Sir, in the eighth question, last yesterday I've tried in eighth question. It is working on Chrome, but whenever I posted the URL on the graded assignment, it is saying bad post or bad request kind of thing. It is not working in the assignment, but it was working on the Chrome when
Uh,
I.
s- okay. There might be problem with the way uh, your system is interacting. So it may instead of the host, it may be local host or something. Okay, we'll uh,
but we can
deal
do
with
one
that.
thing. Yeah, we can do one thing, Sakshi. I will try to debug this error and give get give a response to you by tomorrow. But if you are unable to do that, and if we require you to, actually share your screen, then we can do something that I can create a separate meeting for you, and then we will
Yes,
debug.
sir. It will be very nice, sir. Because sir, just
Yeah, because
like this fast API thing, I'm not getting it. It
yeah.
always giving me some error again and again with every questions.
So this fast API, is it giving you an error specifically when you are using Vercel, or is it like giving you an error whenever you are You're running it on local machine as well.
Sir, whenever I'm running on my local machine, whenever I open that link, it will say something. It will say not found, method not allowed, or kind of the questions which contains this solution fast API and kind of posting request or getting request from the URL. It is not working. That's why I'm not able to understand it, how to do it or how to debug it. That's
All
why.
right, Sakshi, we will. I will look into it and then I'll get back to you. Okay. All right,
Thank you,
Suloch.
sir.
You can continue.
Okay, so now we have verified that there is only one a table. So now we can go ahead with the rest of the code. Now within table, what we need to do, we need to go to every single row. So I will just identify the rows. So I think this would be within TD. This should be okay. This is the one. So let's copy the selector and okay, this is the selector. No, 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 I don't want this. Okay, I will create. So rows is equal to table of 0, and then again we use select, and within select we need tr with ranking list, ranking hyphen list. So this is the class that we need to select, and this is how we can get the header. But I'm not interested in getting header. We want tr tag. Now within tr tag, the second td is what we need. So this rows stores all the rows. I want to iterate through each of the row, and now um, is there any mistake? Oh, in rows. So you want td is equal to row dot not soup select,
Yeah.
and that is td is what we need to select. And actually we are interested in selecting second td element that have name. So let us just select the second one, and this have name, and I won't call it name because we already have one name parameter over here. And let's just print it, name dot text content. Maybe this might get the name. Let me run it again, and this should print it. But instead of going over all of these rows, maybe I can just restrict to one row. So this should be 1 to 2. I think this would restrict to one row. Okay, we have sent one request, but there is nothing on the
Actually,
terminal.
it's not able to find SGD.
Hmm?
You have sent the request for the name SDG.
Yeah,
Slash.
that is okay.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Oh. It should be anim dot name text.
But again, it won't be able to find it, right?
No, no. Right now, I am not going to find it. I just want to print it.
But we have such a. Okay. Got it.
Uh,
Got it. Got
I
it.
want to. What I am looking
Yeah, yeah, I
for.
got it. Got it.
Basically, we want this name right first.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
within this second TD element, we want the text content. So I think that is what. But I'm not able to get it. So let me just print. Maybe it's not going inside for loop. Maybe. Okay, let me go through all the rows instead of one of them. It's not printing.
Perhaps there is nothing inside this rose. Can we just print this rose list once?
Okay, I got it. I got it. That is because we are using wrong query selector. So it should be tr dot ranking list, and I think now it should work. Okay, it's getting none, 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 none,
So
and
it's able to parse inside the row, but it's not able to find the TD. So that part is working, but this anime part is not working.
that is because it doesn't have. Okay, let's have a look at why it's not working.
Okay, I'll probably take your leave. This is recorded, right? In the TDS playlist, it will be there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be there. So it have each of these individual TD tags. So it is actually getting there, but it doesn't have anything text content. So where is the name of? Okay, let's go to the first one. It's very long. Within image or mm, 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 maybe this one.
Yeah.
I think
So
this
it's
is the name.
actually an anchor tag, right? It's an anchor tag, and
Yes, it's an anchor tag.
with a class of hover info trigger.
But I'm just to verify that there is only one anchor tag. Okay, there are multiple anchor tags.
With hover info, yeah.
Hmm. Okay, so this is one anchor tag, then this is another anchor tag over here, I think. Is there any anchor tag? No, no, it is for image. So we need to get this anchor tag for hover underscore trigger.
We can look into
Hmm.
it this way. In the H3 element, having the class anime ranking H3, and then inside that we have an anchor tag, and then we have to find the
Okay,
text
sure.
content.
So within this, we want anime dot select underscore one. There is only one H3 tag, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
H3, and do we need to apply some class?
Yeah, there is anime ranking H3. Yeah, we should apply this particular class.
The last one, right?
This last one.
And this should get, let's
Vipraj, we
call it
have
H3.
passed two classes over here.
Hmm?
We have passed two classes.
Two classes. No, we have passed only one class.
No, no, no. H3, FWP, and anime ranking H3. We have passed two classes.
Oh, okay. So let's just keep this third one. And now let's print H3. And now within this, so this is the name, I think. Okay, now within this we want anchor tag. So I will put, if you want anchor tag, and
And then the inner text.
then inner text.
Yeah.
INNER. Okay, let's execute it again. Must be a selector before it. Combinator selector at position this must be a selector before it. Maybe I have to remove this space. Okay, it's none, none, none. Okay, instead of doing inner text, let's just do till. Okay, this is anchor tag, and now is it inner text or text content?
Let's do text content.
Okay, again it gets us none. Okay, let me ask GPT. From this, how do I get? Okay, maybe because we are trying to extract it in wrong way. Maybe this is correct one. How do I get? Using dot text.
Text. All right.
Okay, now we are getting the name. Now we just need to compare that name.
Yuvraj, I
Hmm.
think we have already, shown how you can actually do this, and
Yeah, yeah. I think we can skip,
we can
right?
move ahead to Harsha's question now.
Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah, Harsha, please ask your question. Harsha,
Hello. Yeah. Hi.
do
Uh,
you want to share a screen?
yes.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, your screen is visible.
Okay. So it's regarding the scope. I want that it's too broad. So I just want to clarify. So first thing is actually like okay. So this one currently here the tool is prettier. Maybe you give some other tool here, then how do I install it? Like is there a subset of tools which you will be looking for? Then maybe I can have it installed as part of the Docker build process. You can let us know like what's the subset of tools here which you are checking for. And the second part is in this question is the file type here is MD. Like maybe here the parameter can change to Python. So if that is the case, then this is Python. Then there is Python equivalent formatting tool. So if this is so, what's the scope of this file type, and what's the scope of this formatting tool? Like what's the subset of it? These two.
Okay.
Well, this, yeah,
So regarding this installation part, maybe whatever needs to be installed, whatever is defined here, you can install those uh, within Docker build. But if there are something that needs to be installed for some other task, so there might be some new task, right? For that, you might have to install something that is not mentioned here. So for that, you can install those things while running the main script.
No, you cannot install like that actually. Like a Docker Docker process when it is running, right? It will have limited privileges. So how do you install that actually? Like and then make
For
it run?
example, while running the main script, you can use sub processes to install.
No, subprocess also has limitations. Docker process doesn't have like a process to install there. You can check it out.
Okay, okay, we'll check that out. Okay, what
Okay,
is
so
the
this
other?
is like very broad. Okay, so this one, when is the ETA for getting back on this? Like, uh, like how do you, like tomorrow? Can you disclose what's the uh, action point on
Harsha,
this? Like,
you
who
can
is
do
the?
one thing. You can post this on Discourse once, and then we will
No,
be on
actually,
this.
like I don't want to go through that way. I do not know that discourse, but in any case, actually, like I can send out a mail. Actually, like if I get a response, it would be great. I'll,
But
I'll
the thing is
go to
that
I'll go to
that
the.
we discourage sending mails because when you are posting on Discourse, when you are posting your doubts on Discourse, that's going to actually help other students as well. So first,
Okay, then maybe you can post in that chat what's the discourse link. I can go there and then check that out. Uh, yeah, that would be helpful. Please post which link actually, like, which is mentioned, and then
yes,
post
yeah,
that.
for sure.
Yeah, A4. This one. So here, so you have a input. This is one parameter. The second is actually like you have a list of criterias. So maybe last name, first name, and then X, Y, Z, ABCs, Z, E, F, or alpha, beta, whatever. Actually, like so, this can be variable number of arguments, right? Actually, so this is an array. So, is there any limit for this? Like maybe is it like actually like reasonable? Like within 10, I can expect, or within 4 or 5? Like hello.
It should be reasonable list. It should not
Yeah.
be too
Okay.
long.
So, and the other one is actually do you expect anything like actually sort and then unique, like, or is it just sort is the command pattern here? Like, can it be sort and then unique? Like, or maybe or maybe you change the operation itself. Like, actually, like maybe you want something else. So,
That I am not aware about.
like, who is preparing this SRS?
Anand sir is preparing this as
Where is he?
project.
Where is he? Like, how do we contact him?
Actually,
Again, we will encourage you to use Discourse. Anand sir, he's frequently active over there. He responds to students, and what you can do is simply go ahead to Discourse, post all your problems you are facing with, and then you can
No,
simply
it's
then we
not
will be.
problems. It's it's the requirements itself. Actually, like
Yeah,
two.
yeah, absolutely. So these are
Um,
one. So these are
so
others that
okay.
we will
Anyways,
post.
this is getting like actually okay. So this is A4, and the other one is A6. Okay. So this is again one more broad parameters. Like, see, file type is MD. So like okay, the level one kind of hurdles is actually like for file type MD. You can have H1 header, or you can have para, you can have table, you can have any kind of like in a markdown. Actually, like the grammar is like too many elements, like at least 8 or 10 is has. So we need to have a tool for this kind of a thing, and then extract only that section out of it. If it's H1, H2, whatever they are asking for, that's the L1. L2 is actually like level 2 is actually you change the data type, the file type itself. Like from markdown, actually maybe you can make it as some other type and then extract subsection. So how much level is the scope of this? Like it's too broad. It's just too broad.
so Harsha, all these questions I don't have. We don't. Neither Sharansh have exact answer to it because
No, actually, like
Anand
I
sir
want
have
a
created this.
sandbox. Is there any sandbox? How is the testing mechanism here? Like, is there any sandbox here?
Well, Harsha, uh, these questions related to what are they expecting, and how are these things being evaluated. So these are out of our control. So these assignments are being prepared by Anand sir, and yeah, so he's preparing those assignments, and the way you can actually contact him is through Discourse. So create a Discourse post, tag him on that Discourse post, tag us TAs as well,
What
and
is his
then
email ID?
if there is some ambiguity, or if there is something uh, if there is something confusing, then we can actually get together and solve those issues. So actually
No,
every
it's
Wednesday we have a
yeah,
meeting
but it's not issue actually
with
as such.
Anand
Actually,
sir.
like it's on
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
maybe can
yeah,
you
I
ping
understand that
his
you are trying to you're trying to clarify some doubts, but again, that if these doubts are being raised and there is a level of ambiguity in the questions, and the questions are unable to answer, the questions are unable to explain themselves. So that's an issue, and that we have to sit with the instructor and solve
Can
the
we
issue.
bring him to the meeting? Actually, can we bring that stakeholder here? I do not know him, but can you bring him? Actually, like maybe can there be one discussion? You see, there are two things. Like one is like I'm new to this process. Like actually, like last semester we did something called as Madman project. It was very organized. One is like actually you had a sandbox. Like whenever you submit something, actually like you have a way to test that project or anything like that. Actually, like so you can test it out and then it will tell you what is the score, and then here since there is no QA, so the requirements actually like there is only requirements, there is no testing criteria at all actually, like so
Yeah, yeah.
it should be like both the ends, then only like it is a proper no, approach. Actually we have a goal, otherwise this goal is like actually you can we can enhance this goal to anything. Like I can have an Autodesk document, and Autodesk document to parse it, it is like very different actually. So each file type is like maybe I can have a Blender file, I can have anything I want. So the scope of this document actually, so it should be restricted only by the QA guy. So that is the first thing. And second thing is actually like they used to bring in the experts actually, like whoever we used to have that meeting. So if the person who is designing this, if he can come for a meeting, that would be great actually. If you can, if you guys can arrange, or we can I can ask that in the discourses as well as it, or like you guys can communicate actually like how is the mechanism there.
So Harshan, that's really good suggestions, and perhaps we can talk with him and kind of set up a meeting uh, with the students where he
Okay,
clarify
that
these
would be
doubts
great.
with him. But the thing is that he's much active on discourse, and I've just shared a link. If you just
Yeah, yeah, I
go
saw
on
that
to your
actually. Like,
Google
okay,
page,
so
yeah.
I
So I have
think
shared
actually
another
this
link
was you
over
guys
there.
like it as an offline way that I totally agree. But actually, I like face to face much more. But anyways, actually, I'll post them and then we'll see. But please arrange a face to face meeting.
Yeah, yeah,
The
we
other
will
one
try
is
to do
actually
that.
like
But just go through that link once, and so multiple students have asked multiple questions right over there, and perhaps someone has asked the question which you are asking, okay, and they might have got the answer, and you may get your answer as well. So just go through that you know thread once, which the link I have shared just now,
okay.
and then
Yeah,
you
I'll
can,
just
if
go
your
through.
doubts
Yeah,
are
I'll
not
see that
clarified yet, then you can post
afterwards.
over there.
Yeah, and I'll just go through this. See this A8, right? Actually, this image, the mini file, what is that actually like? The model which we are using, it's like a very low level model. Actually, it is not like for other things it's working. For this one and all, it's working. For an image data, actually, it is giving object is not JSON reasonable. But actually, like if I try to use some other model, it perfectly works. The same line of code works. So this has a limitation. Like actually, even it is explained in that model itself that actually for image type, actually it will give you this error. So for that particular thing, how do we um, so for that particular thing actually like, they are asking to use a LLM itself, so that has a limitation. The second way of doing this alternate ways, you can use a tesseract. So are we allowed to use tesseract? Actually that is one more thing which I need actually and the other one is actually mm, you guys have answers to none of the questions, or like anyone I'll just go through them actually. Like if you guys have answered to some of them also, it would be helpful. Anyways, I'll post it, but I'll just go through the other one also. A9. This is actually like the output is only two, right? This is obvious, right? Is that true? The output is only two lines. Hello,
So you
hello.
are asking about the output, the number of
Yeah, output is just
lines.
two lines, right? Similar pair of contents means there is only two lines, right? Actually, here output one per line, one comment per line.
Again, we will have to get back to you with this one.
Okay.
We're not, we're not quite
Then
sure, and yeah.
Yeah, and is there any states, like what I mean is actually like this looks like a command design pattern. So like there is something like undo redo are they expecting, because the reason being, you see the data outside accessed slash data is never accessed. So if he asks anywhere like anything like slash mnt or something like that, we should not process it. That's fine. But then there is a protocol here, like actually like one is a post, one is a get. So I think they're validating using get. This is doing the manipulation, this is doing the get operation to check whether the status is correct or not. So here, what is the return type for this? For b1 and b2, what's the return type? Like if it is not accessed, that means actually like no operation has been done. What is the format for this thing actually, like for the get? And even for this also, like what should be the format? That is other actually like and here also it's very vague actually, like, what is this API? Is it GraphQL? Is it REST API? Is it Corba call? Or is it SOAP API? What kind of call is it actually, like and how do you like actually? So and this one actually, if you have permission issue, what kind of response do we need actually, like this is also. Until here the scope was still SQLite, but here one more new database comes in, DuckDB. So if you put in R, then I can have an Oracle database or anything like actually Redis also. Like, so what is this actually? Like, so the scope, is it SQL or no SQL? What is the scope here actually? Like, and so there are so many questions. This is like actually because, and this is the level two. Level one is
Mhm.
something okay. Level two is little abstract. Level three is
Yeah.
even more abstract. That is actually like. We may pass additional tasks beyond the list. What does it mean? Beyond the list means what does it mean? Like it can be anything, or like I mean there is no at least here, at least there was some format. Here is there is no format. Like so this is the level three. So these are the questions which I had. Remaining, I have
Yeah.
completed this coding, but actually I've done these things, but it's like actually it can work for one way. Actually, like you can make the same code not to work for one way, because there is always a limitation for whatever code you do. It's only based on the requirement. So if the requirements expand, then the code won't work, right? So this thing has been done. Okay, this are all have been done. But anyways, actually, I need clarity for this. I'll post it, but if you guys have answer right away, please answer. Otherwise, please set up a meeting, and then we'll have an offline way of discussing also through discourse. Is that
All
fair
right,
enough?
Harshal. So we understand that there is a kind of ambiguity in these questions, and you sound like a guy who has a lot of experience in these kind of things, and that's really good that you are raising these questions, and it will help us resolve these ambiguities in the future. Also, we will raise these queries with Anand sir, and we will demand answers regarding these, how can we solve these problems, and we'll get back to you. Also, uh, it's like you're asking, you came here with a you came here with an expectation of clarifying your doubts, and we are kind of we're not able to do that at the moment. So that's we kind of apologize for that, and we will get back to you soon, and we'll try to solve your answers.
Thank you so much. And the other one is actually, yeah, this one actually, just remember, this is a CI/CD pipeline. I think he's guessing like that. Actually, he wants to mimic this. So usually there will be a undo, redo, and all actually. Like, so what kind of, yeah. Anyways, actually, like, please check that. And thank you so much. Actually, like I appreciate that. We will go. So the action steps are two things. One is offline. Please try to arrange that. Actually, I am assuming he's like a product manager, something like that. So if he comes in, that would
Yeah,
be
he is
even more
actually.
easier.
The thing is that he is also the CEO of a company, of a MNC. So the thing is, he is a busy guy, but he,
No, actually, like
takes out the
everybody has,
time to,
even I
answer
have
questions.
the
Yeah,
MBA from IM Bangalore. Okay, actually, like I am
yeah.
also. You see, everybody has everything. Actually, we
No,
can't give that
I'm
reason.
not saying. I'm not telling
So
you that
since he's a major
he's a.
stakeholder, actually, like I would appreciate him
Yeah,
to
yeah,
come. Actually, if you can arrange it, that would be great. Otherwise, we'll try the offline way. Okay. This is
yeah,
just few
absolutely.
marks. Actually,
Also,
like I wouldn't
also,
much.
I'm not claiming that he is he's a busy guy, and hence he won't be able to answer the questions. The
Yeah.
thing is that he he is active sometimes, but some most of the times he's unable to
No,
answer
that's fine.
the
Actually, like
questions.
please
Yeah,
try it. Actually, like
yeah, yeah.
everybody, if they want to make time, they can make time. That's all. Actually, like and even if I lose marks, I don't worry. But at least let us, since we are putting effort, let it be in a proper way. That's all actually I'm asking for.
Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
that is all I had. Thank you so much.
All right, Harsha. Harsha, please make sure that whatever ambiguities and whatever doubts you have, please create a long discourse post about that and post it on the link I just gave you, because then it will be it will help us to ask those questions to answer, and then we will be actually able to solve these questions. Okay, so please pour in all your doubts, all your questions you have regarding these during this project into this discourse post, and just post it. Tag each and every one of us. Tag Anand sir. Tag me. Tag Jivraj. Tag
No,
Carlton.
that tagging,
Tag
can
each
you
and every one
please
of us.
put that your email IDs, because I don't know. I'm sorry, I do not know you guys actually. Like maybe if you can
I
put
will
that.
just give you. I will just give you the usernames you can use. So it's
Yeah,
just
just
like
put that.
if you
That would
just
also.
put in, yeah, if you just put in an @ and then type in these uh, usernames, then you will be able to
Yeah,
tag
just
us.
put. Yeah, that's enough. Actually, just put the names. Yeah, that would be good actually. Like, and I'll create a new thread. Actually, this seems to be some other thread, so I'll
Yeah,
create
yeah,
a new thread. Okay. Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you so much. Have a
Yeah.
nice evening. Bye.
Jivraj, can you please clarify? Can you please just check if these are the ones?
Okay, it is S dot Anand instead of Anand.
Okay, it's S dot. So I guess
S
these are
dot.
the usernames. Okay, S dot. All right, Harsha. Thank you for pointing out these ambiguities.
Thank you.
Right, and
Thank
please
you.
make sure you post the discourse post. Okay,
Yeah, sure.
on this link which I shared. So this is an exclusive link for
Yeah.
project one. Yeah.
Okay, so
Also,
tomorrow
go
you
through
said there
this.
is a
Yeah.
call, so I think there is nothing in the calendar I see, but maybe if it's an ad hoc call, actually, like which you guys are posting, maybe can I expect something in tomorrow's call, actually, like, or else I won't attend. I'll attend next week. So I just want a heads up. Like, you think within 1 day the response will be there?
Uh, I will recommend you to join the live sessions from next week, and because in this week we are aiming to complete the GF4,
Okay, okay,
and
got it.
hence, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
So
got it.
join from next week. That will be much more better, and that will give us time to resolve these errors.
Thank you, thank you. Take care. Yeah.
All right. All right. All right. Bye, guys. Only one person is remaining. All right.